Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is odorous from Guam.
Burton C Bell of Fear Factory.
This is George Corshorn Fisher.
This is Gas from Double Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Mike Nick from Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is
Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack podcast.
All right, before we go into this episode, we just need to give a shout out to our show supporters, the brutal occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have amazing apparel from shirts to hoodies to hats to beanies and more. Check out their full range at electricwitch.com.au and put in the code EverBlack for 20% off your order. Don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the Everblack podcast through Spotify, iTunes, YouTube and Facebook, and check out all our articles at everblackmedia.com. All right, on with the show. Drew, thanks for joining us on the show, brother. How's things going, all right?
Going well, yeah. It's a bit cold over here, which might be for you as well, I'm not sure. But besides that, it's not cold.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Nice weather.
It is,
I'm
actually.
jealous. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, of course, the new Make Way for Men EP, Rites, drops on September 18, and it's heavy and it's catchy, full of earworms. Really, really catchy. It also.
Oh, that's great. I think so.
I love it, man. It's really, really good. And it's also got your signature outlook, the positive outlook, I should say, as, it seems to, especially everything that's going on in the world right now, it seems like everything's being turned upside down. Going into this thing, was it something that you guys were striving for, to have a bit of a positive outlook, positive change during these dark times?
Well, most of it was written probably just pre to all this happening. But I think we've always, even from like our first EP and songs, that's been the idea. So they've always sort of, like the singers, John and Dylan, they both came from more positive backgrounds musically as well. So I'd been in some death metal bands and all that, so I was kind of more dark. But they always had brought a positive light, and I'm never going to tell anyone what to write about. If you want to write about positive stuff, do what you got to do. So it seemed to work, so like, let's just keep going with that. And if we tackle a negative subject, maybe one song will be that way, but it's sort of trying to just tackle it from a positive aspect. So like depression or something.
Yes.
So instead of just picking all the negatives of it, you're trying to pick how to get through that, or that's the vibe I get from what those guys are doing. So
I think it's super important right now. You know what I mean? We're living
definitely, yeah.
Times, bro. Really bleak.
Yep, I reckon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, 3 out of the 6 songs that were released as singles, which it seems like you've been building up to this EP over the last year. I think that's a great way of doing things, dude. Was that the original plan, or did you guys just release the tracks and go so that we'll see how things build and where?
Well, this one does have tie into the virus. So we had a schedule, and it was all looking all right. And then when the virus happened, it was like, okay, well, now we can't tour off it.
Yeah.
And we'd already released 2 singles. So like, what do? We can hold out. I think a lot of bands have done this, like held out and not released until they think the time is right. So we kind of did that. We were only planning 2 singles, but then the guys, we just thought, all right, we'll hold out, do another single, and then release later in the year. And then probably we can tour off it. I don't know if that's going to happen. Still probably not, but you can't wait too long. So it kind of has worked out okay, yeah. And people are still interested, and it's built a bit more of a following, maybe. So yeah,
yeah, it's awesome, man. How long was the process for each song? Or was it because it's been that gradual over with the singles
writing, or just
did you just sort of or did you have it all sort of track bit by bit, or how did it work for you guys?
So I probably do most of the music. So most of it's written guitar by me, or ideas first, and then I'll get the guys in to do some arranging because I don't really consider vocalists as much as I should when I write songs. So they're like, you need to give us a bit more room here. So I'm like, righto. So, you know, we construct the song with everyone's idea of how it's going to work, where's choruses and verses and so on. And then I'll put the finishing touches on it, samples and all that. And that's pretty much how it's worked for us. And we never really came to that conclusion. It just naturally went that way. So, and it seemed to work. So we kept going with it, yeah. But some of these songs have been around quite a while. They were actually going to be on the previous EP of us.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and they just didn't, at the time, seem right for that EP. We had it all mapped out already. So like, it goes on the next one. And so now some of them are fresh and some of them are a little bit older. But to you guys, I guess it's fresh. So.
Did they change much from demo form to where they are sort of now?
Yeah, they changed in the studio. Even like I'll do pre-prod and they'll do pre-prod vocals. And then when we go into the studio, especially John, or both of them actually, we'll be with the studio guy and they'll record a section and we'll go, that's awesome, you should do that, more of that. And they go, okay. So they just change it to suit, and it usually works for the better. So, I mean, it's roughly the same, but if you heard the pre-prod of Rites, you'd probably go, this sounds a lot, you know, there's a lot of different things going on. So, yeah, it's kind of still a work in progress all the way up to getting it through the studio. It's still being worked on and changed. So, yeah.
Do you ever hear like the vocals and then go back and go, oh, it's influenced me to change this whole section here and put this here and stuff like drastic changes like that? Does that ever work?
Yeah, it does. And I try and tap out at some point, or else I just keep doing it. So, and they're usually it's usually pretty good. It's usually a pretty solid song transition-wise before the vocals are even on it. And so I trust those guys because they know what they're doing. I just leave it up to them. The vocals is not my strong point. So I know they know what they're doing. And vocalists, I've noticed from other bands as well, and you would know as well, they seem to think on a different plane to how you would instrumentally.
Yes.
Like they have an idea of a chorus, and you're like, that was going to be my verse. And they're like, well, it's chorus now. So I let them do their thing and it seems to work. So, yeah.
You're a good man like that.
Yeah, well, you know,
this is the verse. This is not the verse, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah. That's hard to do, right? Like it's hard to step back and let someone else screw with what you've worked on. But yeah. I guess I'm pretty open in that aspect now. I never used to be, but maybe it's age.
A lot of trust, though. No, it is. It is trust.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Sometimes fisticuffs, but mostly.
Yeah, hasn't come to that yet. But yeah, it is trust. I trust those guys because they're great singers and they know what they're doing. So I've got no problem with letting them do it because I know it'll turn out well. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
And it has. Holy shit!
That's great. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is also the cover of Owl City Fireflies on there, and that was also released as a single. Not something that I'd sort of expect, but it's amazing, and that's up something like 461,000 views, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, that was definitely. I wasn't expecting that. We literally did that to kill time. I just like we're like, hey, should we do a cover? And no one could decide. We were going to go with a John Farnham song, I remember, because I just thought that'd be cool. And then I think John brought it up. He goes, how about this one? And I go, I could turn that into a tappy thing, pretty easy. He's like, all right, let's do it. So I smashed it out. And then we decided to do a film clip. And like Lawrence was expecting people to go, that's kind of cool, whatever. When's your stuff coming out? But just went and took off. I was like, all right, okay. Not exactly a new song to cover, you know, like lots of bands will go for the new release from a pop song or something relevant. And, you know, Fireflies is like 10 years old or more. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but it's very nostalgic for a lot of people, I think.
I think it's right in that right pocket, if you know what I mean. Like it's not too new and it's not really old. You know, it's not like an 80s track, and it works. It sort of speaks to a lot of people, man, and it's still got that positive vibe. You guys are putting it out as well. I think it's amazingly done. Have you found that, you know, you've had feedback from all over the world in regards? Have people been hitting you up from places you'd never expect?
Yeah, after that song, it seems to be that. I mean, we had a few in the past that have done pretty well. Even like the song "Ideations," it's got Sean from Make Them Suffer on it. That gave us a bit of a nudge. But the Fireflies one, especially in the US, is people from all over text messaging us, when are you coming to do a tour? I'm like, well, you know, it's Corona, we can't leave the state even. But that song has done great for us, and I wasn't expected. So it's good. It's great. It's excellent. Happy to have done it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, of course, have you also found that, you know, people that aren't usually into metal have sort of started getting into metal? Have you heard that one as well?
Yeah, a lot of people have said, so a lot of the time I think after the song, if you look on YouTube or Spotify or anything, it links to like Ideations or like a super heavy song. So all those people that go, I used to like Fireflies, I don't listen to metal. They listen to that and go, this is cool. It's a little bit heavy, but it's cool. And then it goes full heavy straight away, you know. And most guys are like, I wasn't expecting that from this band. So yeah, I think it's worked. It's definitely worked for us. It's helped. It's definitely been a big push to get people maybe into us somewhat. Like, you know, progressive metalcore is not like a super popular genre. So hopefully we can turn a few people. That'd be good.
Well, not only that, man. Like the kids just surfing the web. You know, they're not. You know, they still find their metal feet out there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that sort of helps those doors. You know what I mean? Next, you know,
that would do. Yeah, that's true.
All works together, man.
It does. Look, I'll take it whatever way I can get it. If it takes a heavy Fireflies song to get people into heavy music, then all for it. Yeah.
Well, in regards to Ideations, as you were saying before, you've got Sean Hamanis on there, and dude, so brutal.
Yeah.
Which is like the opposite end of the scale.
Yeah. His voice is incredible. I don't know how he does it. He's got such when you listen, I was in the studio when he was doing it, and we sort of had it all set up for the other guys, and then when he went in, they were like, right, we turn everything down a bit because it just like blasted the hell out of us. We're like, wow. I don't know how he produces such a big voice from he's quite tall, but he's a thin guy, but goddamn, he's got some pipes for sure. Yeah.
How'd that come about? How'd you hook that up?
Look, we're mates. Most of those bands, Perth, they're a Perth band, and most of us they all know each other. So actually our drummer is now playing in Make Them Suffer, our first drummer. There you go. Who's the originator of the band with me. We got together and started it, and they were always friends, and he started filling in, and then they just said, look, we need a drummer. And so we were like, look, man, Make Them Suffer. You can't say no to that. You have to do that. So he left 3-4 years ago. And so I guess they thought they owed us. But Sean's a great dude, and he was all over it. He's like, yep, keen, let's do it. So happy that he did.
It'd be awesome to see you guys tour together. Big tour.
Yeah, that would be. I'd love to. I don't know what they're doing. They're obviously as quiet as everyone else at the moment. They're releasing some new music, but no tours on the horizon.
No, but we can dream, man.
Yeah.
It's all going to be over soon. We're all going to get back to it.
I hope so. Because I would really like to come to Brisbane, because we have a tour scheduled. This was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I got really sick. I actually got Ross River virus.
Oh, dude.
And I still did some of the shows, but I was like, if you saw me, I was about 30 kilos lighter and pale in the face, and I could barely stand up. So I had to pass on the Brisbane one. And I was kind of, a bit upset about that, because Brisbane if we look at our analytics, we do pretty well there. It seems like Brisbane has a lot more interest in heavier, more techie kind of metal. So, yeah, I've always wanted to get there and we've never been. So as soon as things open up, that's definitely a goal to get over.
And Gold Coast, dude, you got to come play O's or Vinny's.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, Ken. I love Gold Coast. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, man, they're the main places now to play. And
okay.
So much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We can.
Another surprise is the rap and the title track. That little section.
Oh yeah.
that
yeah, it's a bit different.
Surprise, yeah.
How'd you take that? Did you think it was all right, or?
Yeah, dude. Like it just.
Yeah.
And that's why I think you guys are doing really well. You're pushing those boundaries,
Sure.
and still making it flow really well. And I liked it. I think it's
that's good.
You're trying different things within the show.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I think the other guys agree, or it just happens this way. But like, I've always thought, like, if you're going to do an album or an EP, why restrict yourself to deathcore for every song, or metalcore for every song? How about chucking in a bloody saxophone or whatever? Like, it's more interesting, and if you just mix it up as much as you can, but still have that common theme of your sound. And so that's what I was personally wanting to do. And then when John goes, I want to do some rap, I'm like, I'm not going to say no to that. So he went and did his thing, and I think it's all right. Yeah, so it worked out well.
Did you write that part for it, or did it something that he come to you and say?
Well, I wrote it, and initially he said, "That sounds like," this is going to sound random, but he goes, "That sounds like very Justin Bieber." And I'm like, "Really?" Okay. So he goes, "Yeah, I've got something for it." I'm like, "All right." I was just scripting Justin Bieber. I was like, "Okay, here we go." And then he comes in with his rap, and I never heard it until we got into the studio. And I'm like, "Okay, that was pretty cool. I like it." But, and he was kind of a bit nervous, actually. He was like, "I don't know whether you're going to like this. This is out there." But I heard it and thought, dude, it's just something more variation, and it fits, so go ahead, and did a good job.
Oh, I think it works, man. And that's the thing is it does take, as a singer trying to do those things, sometimes it is a little nerve-wracking taking those to the band and being like, I want to do this. And,
yeah. I can imagine it would have been nerve-wracking for, we're a metal band. We don't do rap. It's a completely different genre. But yeah, same deal. Like, I just thought, look, he always hits the mark, and I never have to question anything. I just doors open, do what you have to do, and it always seems to work for us so far.
Smashed it. If he said this, good job, buddy.
Yeah, he'll say it. I'll make sure he says it.
I liked it. Yeah, this one. Good stuff, boys. Also, the cover art is amazing too. It kind of reminds me of like one of the temples from Legend of Zelda or something like that.
It's very video gamey. I'll give you that. Yeah, that was done by an Indonesian guy. I can't even remember how I came across him. Actually, I was living over there, and I must have saw it over when I was over there, and I said, "Hey, can you do this artwork?" And his Indonesian stuff's reasonably cheap because it's Indonesia. And then when I saw the concept, I was like, wow, first thing I thought was like video gamey, or like even like not even metal, like sort of dance album or something. But yeah, he did a great job, and it's different. So
how long ago were you over in Indo?
I lived there for about a year. I travelled around Asia and other countries, just sort of doing my own thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I actually came back the day before they shut down Australia and you couldn't get back in. So I just happened to have a flight the day before they shut the airport down. So I got in one day before. Yeah.
I hear
that was fun.
Talks about how big the metal scene is over there and how they love their heavy stuff. Did you experience any when you were there?
Yeah, a little bit. Thais love it. I was in Thailand for a while. They love it. We actually have some Thai fans, surprisingly. that knew who we were when I was talking to them. So I was like, wow, that's
cool.
Yeah, it was a bit trippy, but they seem to really love their metal, like and old school stuff, all sorts actually. There's a few metalcore and genty bands in Vietnam too, and they're quite good. I was surprised. So I was kind of looking for it, you know.
Yeah.
So I was going to these places and going, right, where's the metal bar? I want to go. I want to see some local music, you know. And two things I noticed was like it's underground, the same as it is here, I guess, but they're really good players. Like there's some real good talented players there. It's just they don't have a super big market for it. So, you know, but yeah.
Man, I'd love to go over there and check it out. I've only seen like videos and stuff and see him going crazy. And I've heard like a mate of mine went over and played that Hammersonic years ago. And
oh yeah, Hammersonic, yeah. And there's a Jack Floss or whatever as well. That one's a big one.
Oh really?
The Indo kids go mental, like times 10 of what they do here in a pit. Like holy shit, like they just jump up on each other and all over the show, on stage, off the drum kits, fucking everything.
Man, that's so good. I'm hanging. One day I'll do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys have had a really good run over the years, you know, touring and supporting bands like Trivium and Fear Factory and Periphery and Meshuggah. How was it, sharing the stage with those legends, man? That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, well, the first one we did, which was our first ever show, was supporting Trivium. And I don't think the promoter that put us on, I don't think he knew that we'd never played a show before. He thought we'd already played a show, so we got it, and I'm like, fuck, the first show's supporting Trivium, what the hell? And afterwards I said, hey man, thanks for putting us on our first ever show, that was sick. He's like, what, first show? He didn't even know. So we lucked up, and it was quite nerve-wracking, but didn't get to meet Trivium. They were very reserved. But I did get to meet the guys from Meshuggah and the Periphery guys, and they were top guys. I was talking to Thomas Haight for quite a while. He thought I was the drummer because I was loading the drums. So we started having drum conversations. And then afterwards, he must have seen us on stage. And he's like, I thought you were the drummer. And I go, oh, nah, guitar. But yeah. I think the only problem we have in Perth is a lot of the time these bands, they're on the last leg.
Yeah.
So they're all just stuff. They don't touch the rider. Most of the bands I noticed that we've done supports for, they give us their rider. They go, here, have all this beer. It's all yours. Because they're just so fucked. They just want to go to bed, you know. So they're not too chatty, but some of the guys were really good. The best guy was I don't know why I can't remember his name, but the Fear Factory singer.
Burton C Bell?
Yes, he's a top dude. Like, he came up, he didn't have to, he just came up to us, we're all standing there, and he's like, you guys make way for man. And we're like, yeah. And he goes, I've listened to your CD, it's awesome. I'm like, fuck, okay, cool. And like, he shook everyone's hand, and yeah, I was like, man, this guy is excellent. And he started giving us tips on touring.
Yeah.
What did he say? He's talking about getting swamp ass. He's like, you don't want to get swamp ass. I'm like, what the fuck is swamp ass? And he goes, you don't shower for ages and you're sitting on a bus every day, your ass starts to like really stink. And so you got to get wet wipes and wet wipe your ass before you get on the bus. I'm like, fuck, man. Yeah, all right, cool. Thanks for that tip.
Oh man, he's one of my heroes, man. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, top dude, man. I've never met anyone nicer in like such level-headed for a guy like him. So yeah.
You know what? He's one person I'd love to meet in person. I've interviewed him twice,
right.
and never met him in person. So it's something. Hopefully, one day I'll get that.
Yeah.
That's incredible, dude.
Once all this is over, and I'll get back to touring again.
Oh man, I know. In saying that, I mean, did you guys go overseas before all this?
No, we never did. I had it kind of organised, but don't know what happened with that. We are planning to, but yeah, it's all dependent on what happens with all this current situation.
Where were you planning on going?
US.
Oh wow.
It just seems to be And I've heard from a lot of other bands, Perth ones especially, like they seem to have more fans there than they do in our hometown. Like, you know, Spotify and all these online plays to get music is just opens it up. And then the analytics are coming back and it's always showing US, like Chicago, all these cities in the US as the top cities for listens. And so it's just a natural thing, I guess. You go where people want to hear you. So, yeah.
That'd be so sick.
That would be excellent, yeah.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully things calm down. I know we keep saying it, but man, it's getting too
Yeah.
now. We need the world to go back to normal. So you know, you got to look after each other out there, people.
Yeah.
Wear your masks, dude. Look after each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, if Brisbane seems to, Queensland seems to be on top of it, Perth's on top of it,
Yep.
South Australia's on top of it, but it doesn't mean shit if America's got hundreds of thousands of cases. It means we still can't go there,
Yeah.
and vice versa. You know, so what do? You've got to wait for other countries to pull their act together before you can tour.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
I mean, in the meantime, I know everything sort of in between is sort of out of action, but it'd be cool to see you guys come over here.
As soon as I can, I'm planning to do it. So, we've just organised. We're in the process of organising a regional in Western Australia. So we're literally just going to do the lap of Western Australia, which it might sound okay, but if you've been to Western Australia in the top end and stuff, it's not like the East Coast. There's not a town every, hour or so. So yeah, it's very sparse. So there are places to play, but it's not a huge town that you're playing. They're like few and far between. Like you're traveling 8-9 hours between towns, but it's still fun. And we figured, me and some other guys from local bands were like, look, we can't go to Brisbane, we can't go to Adelaide. How about we just do a lap and get out there at least and get some shows under our belt because we're allowed to here. So we just decided to make it happen. Yeah.
Oh man, you got to do it, eh? You know what it's like. You can't, you can put all this music together and prep the release, but playing those songs live is where they really live and you feel it, hey? You want to take it to the people.
That's the whole point, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. I know there's some musos out there, the bedroom musos that just they're just happy sort of recording stuff and staying in the room. But man, I don't understand it.
No, I mean, you don't have. I mean, you do get some kind of you get appreciation for it, and it does. It's great, but it doesn't beat that live when he's playing live.
That's right.
Nothing beats that. So yeah,
that instant. Hey.
Yeah,
good.
And you finally you get the crowd, and you kind of finally realise that your music actually means something to more than just a couple of people on Facebook. Like, people showed up; they actually do like us. Sweet. You don't know that otherwise. So
that's it, man. That in-person interaction is where it's at.
Yeah.
Got to get back to that. So, man. Well, apart from that, what's next for you guys? What do you got cooking up for the rest of the year and into 2021?
I went a bit nuts and wrote heaps more music because there's nothing else to do. So I've got a lot to get recorded. So we're just making the use of the time of sitting around, not being able to play, and getting tracks done. So that's the plan at the moment. Pretty much got another album's worth of material already. So it's a good place to be, actually, in front for once, instead of like having to scramble to get things out. So as you would know, like it's still fresh music that we'll be releasing, but to us, we've had it for 6 months now. We've been sitting on it because of the virus. So I just couldn't sit around twiddling my thumbs. I had to do something, so that's what I came up with.
Well, we can't wait to hear what you guys do next. But of course, in the meantime, everyone is going to lose their shit as soon as they hear Rites, because it's incredible, dude. Like, you guys
No, I hope so.
really special, man. Well, I mean, they've gotten a little taste of it, but I really think that there's those other gems, and hearing it all together as one is quite an experience, and people are going to love it, man. So, of course, that comes out on September 18. Pre-orders are up now. Dude, thanks for joining us on the show, man. I'll have all the links down here, as I usually say. Stay safe over there, bro. Enjoy your shows, and
You too, yeah.
touch, bro.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers for having me.